we stand as one. We must understand that the true essence of being Nigerian isn't found in your tribe, but in your strength, in your heart, your resilience, and your ability to stand tall side by side with your brother and sister, no matter where they come from. Whether you are Tiv, Kanuri, Egba, Ibibio, Esan, Ijo, Urobo, Igbo, Fulani, Yoruba, or from any of our beautiful ethnic groups, always remember that we are stronger together. Let's drop the bias, silence, and hate and lift each other up. Let unity reign. Let love lead. Let Nigeria rise. Say no to tribalism.
Keep us together. Living in a world, it's a struggle just staying alive. One love, keep us together. We're about to make it real. Show what you got your back.
A very good afternoon to you. Welcome to fresh episode of At the Midweek Politics on Mila 98.3 FM. Well, I decided to start with this particular song. I know that's not the song you're very familiar with on the show, but that song was actually titled Let's Live Together, one of the most popular songs in the early 90s from Lara George, T.Y. Bello, and MM and Dakbo. Yeah, it's a group of three ladies and one guy, and then they gave us that classic, and it literally just tells you about how much we've always been campaigning for us to live together as one. See the problem of the North as the problem of the South, as the problem of the East, the win of the West as the win of the North, as also the win of the South. So I want to tell you that the oil of Bayelsa belongs to everybody. Somebody would also say that the gold in Zamfara should also belong to everybody, and that is why they call it the Commonwealth, and that is why they call it true federalism. You're welcome to the show. It's an amazing time to be alive, and today is the 15th day of the month of July 2026. I'm just wondering, how fast has this year been? It felt like just yesterday we said Happy New Year to ourselves, but maybe the year is also looking for the 2027 election, as every one of us are looking forward to the election. Yet again, we want to appeal to you that you should take advantage of the continuous voters registration that is going on, the CVR by INEC. And of course, we've questioned it. I think some of my colleagues and I were having a conversation a couple of days back at the reception that what exactly does INEC do when we don't have general election? Yes, we'll have off-circuit elections, like we're preparing for another one in Osun next month, like we had in Ekiti last month. We'll have, by-elections to fix vacant legislative positions, both the Senate, the Reps, the various states House of Assembly. But more than anything else, why does INEC have to wait till a certain time before the continued voter registration? Because the Constitution says that once you are 18, you're legally binding to drive a car, to participate in election, either to vote or be voted for in these cases. So I'm always wondering, as much as people clock 18 every single day, you should be able to walk into any INEC office or your local government secretariat and apply for your PVC. Probably the reason why we're having so much congestion and problems doing all of these things is mostly because, a lot of people have been waiting for their PVCs. A lot of people have misplaced their PVCs. A lot of people have applied for transfer of their PVCs. So everybody would have to wait till INEC opens the portal again. And then there's a lot of pressure. The servers are not working well. So I'm just always wondering that maybe we can do better so that we don't make things that are supposed to be seamless and stress-free become such a big deal that people have to take days off work because they want to register for their PVCs, and people have to wait for months, sometimes years, before you can get your PVC transferred from one state to the new state you are right now. for us to have a better and improved election with so much integrity, it goes beyond the amount of money we spend on election. And I've always said this. All over the papers today, there were reports that Professor Josh Amukpito is, asking for more money from the reserve. And I'm like, even if we spend the entire budget of the country to execute an election, it still does not mean that the election is going to be free, fair, and credible. At the end of 2023 election, 92% of offices contested for ended up in court, including the office of the president. And that means 92% of the election, the offices that were won, were challenged in court. Some had the result upturned, some lost at the tribunal. They went to the appeal court, they still lost, they still went to the Supreme Court, especially in cases of states. I know of Plateau, for instance, that only the governor escaped that issue. The senators, the reps members, the assembly members, all of them were told by the court to vacate their seat because the faction of the PDP that conducted the primaries was not the constitutionally recognized faction. But they got to the appeal court, they lost. But that case could not go beyond the appeal court because of constitutional restrictions. So only the governor was able to go to the Supreme Court, and he was able to, secure his mandate. So we need to find a way to make sure that we improve the quality of our elections, so that when people say, oh, Nigeria is conducting an election, somebody will not wake up and say, we already know he's going to win the election. We already know that this and this. No, we need to push for integrity in our election so that we can encourage people to come out. In the last election, INEC released the statistics that we have about 100 million eligible voters in this country. And at the end of the day, less than 30 million came out to vote. And that was the lowest turnout we've had in our democratic journey from 1999 till 2003. An election that I've had 2 elections for Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, 2 elections for late Umaru Musa Yar'Adua and Goodluck Jonathan, 2 elections for late President Muhammadu Buhari. So we need to improve in our election, and improvement in the election means that the integrity of the election must also continue to improve so that people don't have a predetermined mindset about the fact that, our votes don't count. There will be glitch. They will announce result at 2 in the middle of the night. There will be this, there will be that. There will be controversy around the state status of the FCT. Is FCT a state? Is it under the 25% mandatory and all of that? So when we continue to improve in the quality of our elections, we'll always see it. People will trust the process, and ultimately we'll have the chance to elect leaders that are capable, and not just because we share the same political party with them, or because we share the same religious affiliation with them, or because we are from the same tribe. No, we'll have choices based on informed decisions. You're choosing this person because he's capable, because you think he's credible, you've been able to check his track record, you've had interface with him, campaign conversation and not propaganda. So we need to have a lot more than just pumping money into our election. 1 billion for election, 10 billion for the election. At the end of the day, we spend so much in even defending those elections in courts. And so when I have a situation whereby the mandate is not even the one given by the people, we've seen a situation where a governorship candidate that came forth in an election in this state eventually became the governor that was sworn in, and is still in the office. So we have to find a way to improve in the quality of our elections so that people can wake up and say, yes, the election that presented candidate ABC was not just seen to be free, but it's actually felt to be objective, and integrity would never be doubted. Once again, you're welcome. It's a Wednesday conversation, 120 straight minutes of our conversation around politics, hardcore politics. We go beyond just scratching the surface. We dig deep into it, get all of the elements, the sound bites, live interviews, every component of whatever story we choose to focus on. We dig it down for you every Wednesday. And of course, on the turn of 2 o'clock, would allow you join the conversation, whether you're streaming on our social media platforms, Facebook and YouTube, or you're following us on X, formerly Twitter, on our TikTok page or Instagram. We welcome you. My name is Oᴑᴜ and Mr. Matthew Okodia is joining us on the show today. I announced it yesterday with the hope that he's going to be available, and somehow my hope worked. He's here with us, and of course there is a side forward. I almost said Matthew forward. Good to have this solid combination again on this show. It's always one of my favorite part of the week, and when we bring issue-based conversation void of sentiment or emotions, and then we allow the people to decide what is true to them or what is not. Mr. Matthew Okodua, and I'm not, session with you on the show. Good to have you join us.
Thank you for inviting me.
As always. Side fact, it's a big one.
Thank
when we were going through the topics this this morning, it was tough. We had about 10 topics, and then we had to say, put this one in this one, let this one join this one, so that the people would have a very engaging conversation. And when they're leaving after 3 o'clock, they will know that this has been worth the 2 hours. Good to have you join us again on the show.
Thank you for having me. A pleasure to be here.
Well, the last time we were on this show, we were counting the number of days that the victims of the Oᴘᴇɪ abduction had spent in the kidnappers' den. But on Friday, we were just in the office, and then the news started filtering, and they've been rescued, they've been released, and then I could not contain my joy because, you can't process these things except you've been involved. You can't process these things except you've committedly followed the sequence of events since the abduction happened. You probably can't even process these things except you sat down one-on-one with someone that had been a victim of an abduction, and they've seen people that were abducted at the same time with them killed in the process. The feeling is different. And I think for the very first time, we had a situation where the entire nation adopted that situation as this is our problem. And then there was a rallying point. The security agencies, the communities, everybody came together to say this Oᴘᴇɪ abduction must not define us as a people. Let me start with you, both of you, very quickly. When you heard of the release, whether it is rescue or release, and I'm also grateful for the federal government for deciding to declassify that operation, because they made some videos available to the public when they were down. But what was more important to you, side forward, that they were released or the manner at which they came out, whether ransom was paid or not? What was the most important thing to you at that moment when you heard about the release?
Well, the most important, of course, would be the fact that, look, they are out of that situation. Because anyone who has covered stories, who have reported stories of whether ordinary kidnapping, abduction in the hand of bandits or terrorists would understand that, look, it's always a very fluid and delicate situation. Things can go wrong very, very fast. So for every minute, or let's say every second, minute, hour, and day you spend there, you are faced with grave danger. Danger that cannot be quantified. If you understand that, look, it's a situation that can get out of hand very easily. Until when they came out and we discovered that one person was missing, the feeling out there was that it was only the maths teacher that was killed. Until it was announced that out of the 7 teachers, only 5 came out. Then the news filtered in that one other male teacher had also been executed, had been killed by these terrorists. In fact, I saw a video where when it was announced that these people had come out, his family members were also joyful. They were also celebrating.
Because they were expecting it was going to come out.
They were expecting that it was going to also, join them very soon since they have been released. Because the only news we got while they were there was that Mr. What's his name? The math teacher had been killed. But again, the death of the second teacher did not come out because that was at the time that the government had sealed off all forms of communication.
Exit routes? No exit.
Even communication. Because from what the Defense Headquarters told us, it got to a point they had to blank them off. They had to cut them off, all forms of communication with the outside world. So it got to a point, all those videos they were doing,
They didn't even know where they were.
they didn't know, they could not put out anything. Because again, I'm sure that, look, when they record these videos, there's a way they push it out. And then somebody else then to put it on social media. So, I think the reason why the public did not get the news of the death of the teacher, the
Because
second
the channel
teacher,
of communication
there was
had
no way
been
for
cut
them
off.
to-
So one would understand why, and for people who maybe still doubt these things, remember that there was a time that the governor also declared curfew.
Across 10 local governments.
10 local governments.
Dusk till dawn.
Because again, the idea was to ensure that, look, there was no exit route. And I also listened carefully to some of the things that had come out from the Defense Headquarters that, look, what we did was to swiftly create a perimeter around them. So basically stopping them from advancing to other parts of
Kanji
the
forest,
country.
according to what they
Yeah,
said,
they
that
said
was the destination.
but because it would have been more problematic if they had been able to move
Those children
and
outside
teachers
of that forest.
outside of that or your national park, because getting to Kanji means, in fact, don't be surprised that we might be talking about them in Libya now. There's nothing impossible if you look at the network of this international terrorist group. So the fact that they were blocked from moving out of that national park on all fronts, I think also helped. And the fact that at some point, look, again, we've always talked about the capacity of the intelligence community. We've always talked about the capacity of our soldiers. We know that we can do this. We know we can confront this existential threat. It's a new one. It comes a bit different from, somebody was talking about the fact that, our soldiers were deployed to Sierra Leone, they were deployed to Liberia. That one is a different
game.
It's a different look.
The enemy is clear.
The enemy is clear. You know what you're dealing with. It's a civil war amongst people of the same nation. So, as a peacekeeping operation or something, you know clearly what your mandates are, and the enemy you already know. Here we are talking about a threat of international dimension. We are talking of a threat that, like the U.S. military recently said before they left, that look, the amount of intelligence they gathered from Nigeria, they were all the while that they've been even having operations in Middle East, they didn't get that amount of intelligence and information when it comes to these terror networks. They were the ones that also told us about some of these terror leaders hibernating in different parts of Nigeria. They generally helped to kill one or two of them. So I think it's important for us to know that, look, whatever we did, whatever the security operatives did to have been able to do this should be commended. And I think it should also be a source of encouragement to say that if we can do this, we can do so many others. We can have a military well motivated, well equipped, to give us a safe and secure country. So for me, the most important part of the conversation was that, look, we've done this. I'm happy that the report says there was no ransom, there was no exchange of prisoners, and that, look, we have also been able to arrest some of them. We are waiting for when those ones will have their day in court. It will be interesting to even see their faces, to see them have their day in court. For those ones that have been neutralized, they say,
Fair deal where.
whatever happens to them, so they should go and meet their creator to answer questions. So the most important thing was that, look, we brought them back alive. Very unfortunate that we lost 2 teachers. We lost, I think, some soldiers, about 2 soldiers. We lost some Amotekun operatives. So, but at the end of the day, we are grateful to God at least.
We're still going to touch that real quick. But Mr. Matthew Okuda, one thing you've always said on this show is that for every time there's an abduction, these criminals are calling the bluff of the government. And you've always charged that the government should not negotiate with them. The government should also call their bluff and say, do your worst. From the information made available to the public, it looks like these criminals had demand to release some of our commanders in your custody, then do this and do that. And from further investigation and interviews granted by the military headquarters says that they identified these suspects. They went around, picked their family members from Kashia in Kaduna to Angwarukuba in Kano, in Adamawa, in Mubi. They went to pick their families, and they make videos like, these are your family members, your sisters, your wives, your fathers. If any of the victims in your custody should die, we're going to kill this one. That was a bluff calling. Secondly, the government also said that there was a total circling of the forest so that nobody moves out. Curfew was declared, dusk till dawn, 10 local governments, and perhaps the people understood the uniqueness of that curfew, right? How much confidence, Mr. Matthew Okuda, do you think these particular action, the coordinated attempt, the intelligence gathering, sharing, the Air Force was there, the Navy also played their part, the soldier, the police, Amotekun, the civil defense, the local hunters, the members of the community. It felt like it's a coordinated attempt that tells you that when there's a will,
There's a way.
there's always a way. What does this say to you about how much more? Today makes it exactly 100 days that the Christian worshippers, they were kidnapped in Kaduna during Easter 100 days now they've been in the kidnappers den. I had a guest that joined me from Maiduguri, the capital of Borno State, in the situation on Monday, the state coordinator of the Generation Next movement, and he says that there are people that have been in kidnappers den in Borno for 2 years. And at the past 7 weeks, there's been a crazy level of success achieved by the soldiers in rescuing these, victims and neutralizing some of these criminals. So it looks like this tiny little effort is, kind of bringing up progress, as much as we still want more. The people that were abducted when the Oyo one happened, 42, they've not been rescued yet in Borno. But from this operation, what did he say to you about how we can get things done if we want to get things done?
Thank you for having me. I think with your last statement that we can get this done, for what to get it done, is what we have just answered. We can get it done if we want it. Now, when the release was the release or whatever was announced, what excited me was that at last we have done this one. Number one, the government has made statements to future attempt by these terrorists to kidnap people that we are not going to pay. Yes, unfortunately, we lost some people, we lost some security men, we lost 2 teachers and the rest of, and 1 or 2 other people, Amotekun and the rest of them. But that's the price we pay for this kind of victory. It's unfortunate that it happened in the first place. But now the statement the government has made that, look, boys, do anything you want to do, we are not paying you anything. Then too, another thing that excited me was that government has learned some skills, not just a lesson, some skills. I don't know who told them or how they got the idea to go and arrest the people that are connected with the kidnappers. That was a new skill that has worked. They went into video communication with the terrorists, showing them your father, showing them your mother, showing them this, showing them that's another skill in fighting this insurgency now. So, I think that this skill, if I may call it like that, is something the government will now want to explore. Then two, government now knows the thinking of the terrorists based on what the principal said, that they were killing, they killed those 2 people to move the government to do something according to their will. Government became hardened in this Oyo own, became hardened, not frightened now to say, okay, they killed this person. No. They discovered that the more they paid the money, the more they are emboldened to do more. So now the statement is, whoever you are at this level, as far as it is government is concerned, we are not paying any ransom. We are going to, but if government is able to downplay the effect of empathy, if it is your father, it is your mother, would you allow them to touch? If government downplay that empathy, that sentiment, then we are on for victory. But it may take time. It's a good statement government has made. Then we now move further to say, okay, you mentioned those who have been kidnapped earlier and the rest of them. Well, those are processes that, is it, I can't remember the philosopher that says that what happened to you is not a tragedy, but your failure to learn from what happened to you is a bigger tragedy. So what has been happening for the past 15 years of insurgency or so is a tragedy. But if by now we are not learning a lesson from it, that's a bigger tragedy. So we should now learn a lesson. Okay, Borno, Kwara, Kaduna, Chibok, we didn't learn anything. But with this Oyo, let us do experiment. We are not going to pay. Let's do experiment. National Security Advisor, Chief of Army Staff, whatever, Chief of Naval Staff, Chief of Air Force, what are we going to do? We want to do experiment. Because why I'm saying that it could have turned Ori. It could have been a disaster if it was not well done. So government took their time, government took its time, planned very well, and it ended well. So if there was any mistake here and there, it would have been corrected. It is now for us to move from Oyo to another place. Another thing again is, for the individual families or any other, any other person that might be kidnapped thereafter, government is not going to help you Government is coming to try and free your person, but don't bring money to government. Government won't pay. And it's now to encourage those people who are involved not to pay for anybody. You know, because now they discover that government is not paying again. They might pay attention to the families of those people that will kill your person. Will do the hair. Those one again will get frightened and start running around for money. Like my friend in Kaduna that day said they paid over 100 and something million
to tell them to stop
people.
killing that for 3 people. Well, I just had to set that conversation so that we know the direction we're going to be taking today. Chief Olabode George, the former Southwest, chairman of the PDP, is also in the news. And then the ADC as well. It looks like 6 weeks peace. In the next couple of weeks, there is chaos. One judgment is favoring the dealership, another one is pushing things up. But we have a soundbite. The executive governor of Oyo State did not allow the opportunity to go off. He had called that international humanitarian agencies and organizations should look into what happened, the complexity of the abduction in Oyo, and why it took them so long to get those things out. There's been a reaction as well. The former governor of Edo State, former national chairman of the APC, a distinguished Senator Adams Oshiomhole, now representing the senatorial district in the 10th Assembly at the Senate. Even the Oyo State APC had also, called out the governor. Of course, the presidency had responded immediately, saying that the governor is trying to, jeopardize the sovereignty of the country and all of that. Take a listen to the state address by Governor Seyi Makinde, and also take a listen to the former governor of Edo State, Senator Adams Oshiomhole. One would come back. We look into the call of Seyi Makinde saying that investigate this abduction, and I think the investigation may be too deep or complex for the local space to handle. Let's take a listen, and we'll have a conversation around it, but just stay with us. The next voice will be that of Governor Seyi Makinde and Senator Adams Oshiomhole. You're live on Miller 98.3 FM. This is Midweek Politics.
If we have spent time to denounce in the past, it is just appropriate that on this occasion that our armed forces have demonstrated uncommon courage and apparently involved in different strategy to rescue these children is something that all of us should commend. That said, just 2 issues. The emergency minority leader, Lady, spoke to about saying something appropriate to the men who pay the supreme price and others. I will add that if one man must be paid for loss of life, all those who have lost their lives in Borno, in Niger, everywhere else that the armed forces have been active, I do not think you can separate one from the other. So we have to have a general policy that deals with those of our countrymen and women in uniform who have paid the supreme price in the course of defending the country. But Mr. President, I read this morning in newspapers and I've seen it in the electronic. The governor of Oyo State calling on the United Nations to investigate the overall circumstances surrounding the kidnap and even the rescue. I thought that was the most unstatemanly. He was carrying partisan politics too far, and this nation should condemn his unguided statement. Nigeria is a sovereign nation. When we wake up and call on foreign authorities to investigate, this is one case in which our armed forces have shown that without paying ransom, even if it meant that these children and some of the elders had to be in captivity for almost 2 months, that the armed forces were working quietly to have these rescue operations, which, as well captured in this motion, led to some loss of life. To trivialize it, to suggest, as the governor of Oyo State seems to have done, that there is something that is not open, that the UN needs to unearth the circumstances, is to question the sovereignty of our nation, and to downplay the achievements of the commander-in-chief, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and all the service chiefs and in fact all those involved in this process. I think that there is a moment in the history of a nation when across party divide we should stand in unison to commend what has happened, the way people were released, and to encourage the armed forces to build on it, that they should extend and get more gadgets. It's not possible for them to share with us some of the things they did. Like I heard, they were able to identify the guys, and then some of the identity, etc. These are not things that we just have and I want us to...
Good afternoon, Mr. President. And I want to use this medium to talk to you. Please, look at the youth of Nigeria. We are really suffering.
Politics plays its part in everything that defines us as a sovereign entity. Isn't it right to discuss what makes it tick? When the main actors converge in the power corridors to make decisions that affect the next meal, shouldn't we probe even deeper?
Nigeria is suffering. The suffering is too much.
When it comes to the complexities of politics, we strive to give it clarity, to deepen your understanding as the listener.
The decisive factor will be knowledgeable leadership committed to good governance.
Make it a date with Oᴘᴇíᴇᴅ and Saeed Fuad on Midweek Politics every Wednesday from 1 to 3 p.m. on your top dial, Mainland 98.3 FM. Politics, it's a whole meal.
Political enemies, they don't want you to succeed. Have you just realizing that? No matter what I do, they will still abuse me.
Thank you very much for still staying with us on the show. That was the voice of the senator from Edo State, distinguished Senator Adams Oshiomhole, saying that rather than for us to call for a foreign probe into, we should celebrate, the efforts of our armed of our security agencies and the sacrifices that they made for us to get these kids out. So let me quickly take you through the back end story so that we know where this reaction is coming from, because it's not only the senator that had criticized the governor. The secretary to the government of the federation had responded. The Senate as a body itself had also responded. The Oyo APC had also responded, saying that why is he trying to put the sovereignty of the country at risk, forgetting that we have the United States coming to carry out military operations in this country. We have hanging fruit from some of our countries that we have bilateral relationship with, that they can provide security and all of that. But we come into that. The Oyo State Governor, Governor Seyi Makinde, called on the United Nations and international human rights organizations to conduct an independent investigation into the abduction of school children and teachers in Oríire local government on the 15th of May. Well, I thank God they were released on Friday. It will have been exactly 2 months today, being the 15th day of July, that they were abducted. The governor made a call while receiving the rescued victims at his office during the week. Makinde described the circumstances surrounding the abduction as sufficiently grave and unusual to warrant scrutiny beyond domestic institutions. So that was the statement of the governor. And so reaction had continued to, trail that particular, statement. The Oyo State chapter of the All Progressive Congress yesterday condemned Governor Seyi Makinde's call on the UN to investigate in circumstances surrounding the killings, abduction, and subsequent rescue of 44 abductees in Oríire local government area of the state, describing it as shameful, shocking, and unbecoming of a leader. The ABC, in a statement issued and signed by the Public Secretary Olawale Shadari in Ibadan, he described the governor's position as the height of ineptitude, cluelessness, and grandstanding. The party argued that urged the governor to be circumspect and decorous and statesmanlike in his politicking, even as he prepares to leave office in 10 months' time. So that's the reaction from the Oyo APC. So let's just take more reaction now, as the Senate also yesterday cautioned the Oyo State Governor, Governor Seyi Makinde, over his call for UN-led investigation into the abduction and rescue of 39 pupils and 6 teachers in the state, and warning that such remarks could undermine the effort of the federal government and security agencies in tackling insecurity. The warning followed the consideration of a motion sponsored by Senate leader Senator Oᴘᴇíᴇᴅ on the successful rescue of the victims after 58 days in captivity and rescues made by security personnel during the operation. The Senate also commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Armed Forces Intelligence Agency, and other security institutions for securing the release of the victims without having to pay ransom. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, also faulted Makinde for what he described as politicking the abduction of pupils and teachers in Oyo State, insisting that President Tinubu prioritized their rescue over making telephone calls. Okay, so we have the context of this conversation. Let me come straight to you, side forward. Call for foreign investigation by the governor, the chief security officer of the state. We don't know what he has on his table in terms of security briefings at all. How valid are those calls? And what do you make of the reaction from, especially the All Progressive Congress, including the Senate, the SGF? Everyone is condemning the governor for calling for an international probe. What do you make of that?
Okay, let me start with the reactions to the call of the governor for your state for the UN and other international agencies or bodies to come and help look into this issue. I think it's a good way to, address this particular issue before, and I'll tell you what I think about the call of the governor. You see, I don't know why, from Senator Adams Oshiomhole to the Senate President, to the entire Senate leadership, to Senator Kwame Bamidele,
to the SGF,
to the APC in Oyo State, and look at the irony of this case. Just look at the irony of this case and the hypocrisy surrounding it. When Governor Ayo Fayose made that unfortunate, reckless, irresponsible statement of saying this abduction may have been planned by Governor
Makinde.
Seyi Makinde. Did any of them say anything?
No.
Remember, when Governor Fayose decided to politicize this issue by alleging Okoyemi that from the information he has got, or from what he's thinking, he's thinking that Governor Seyi Makinde planned this napping. Also talking about the fact that, why is it that just a day after he declared
for president
this happened so to him, and from the information he has, it is most likely that Governor Makinde planned this thing to embarrass
the presidency
and the president to score cheap political points. When Governor Ayo Fayose made that utterly irresponsible statement, did Senator Adams Oshiomhole say anything? Did the Senate leadership call him to order? Did the Oyo APC tell him that don't come and politicize this issue? Did they say anything? Because at that time,
it suits their narrative.
It favors them.
It favors them. You also remember that a lot of the so-called APC supporters at that time were doing everything possible, were coming up with all manner of excuses. In fact, they became constitutional lawyers. They were looking for things that never existed in our constitution to find a way to blame Governor Makinde. In fact, it became so funny that the same thing, a similar thing that happened under Jonathan, that they blamed Jonathan for.
A to Z.
It was in fact, you see them embarrassing themselves by looking for where to quote in the constitution. At that time, they were all taking the responsibility, finding a way to take the responsibility away from Mr. President. They were looking for ways to say, no, this must be a Governor Seyi Makinde problem. And we told them that, look, instead of first going this route of looking for ways of deflecting, ways of looking for who to blame, trying to shield the president from this responsibility,
look for a solution?
Can we just tell the president to take ownership
of the project,
of the problem, and act as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, deploy the resources of state, deploy the powers given to him by the constitution to get these people released? You know, you knew it's not anything new. You saw the way they were all looking for ways of removing the president from the conversation.
True.
In fact, some of them will even make ridiculous assumptions of, maybe the governor used to collect security votes.
Mm.
So when Chibok happened under Jonathan, the governors were not collecting security votes. They just started collecting security votes now. So I said, no, the best thing is to say, look, Mr. President, this is a challenge. We must act on it. You have the powers. You have what it takes. We trust our military. We can pull this off. We can get this done. But now that the results have come, have you now noticed that, we thank Mr. President?
Straight.
Is what they are saying.
Even the victims, when they were rescued, in the pressure, they still made video to thank the president.
What I'm saying is that when the thing happened, it's not Mr. President's problem.
But the victory belongs to the president.
The victory now should be. You have seen the problem. When the thing happened, no, it cannot be Mr. President. Maybe there's a Motekun. Maybe there's Kinikon.
He gave instruction.
Maybe he has given instruction. But
he cannot do more than the instruction he has. He cannot wear khaki.
So they kept looking for. So everything was, let's just find a way to heap the blame on the governor. But now that whatever the powers that we have always talked about, the power of the president to rally our troops. You see, the title of the CNC is not my money. It's not
a chieftaincy title.
It's not
you don't earn it in the classroom.
It's not. Once you are elected by the people of Nigeria and you are sworn in as president,
that seat gives you the
and
power.
Then you have the entire military structure, security
under
operatives saying, sir, we are now under your command. Yes. It is total. Absolute. The control is total. And that's why if the president says, look, from the chief of army staff to the NSA to the IG, I want to see you in the next 30 minutes.
You must find
Even if you are out of this span, you must return
quickly.
You must return
and say, look, I want this done now. Look, so that is what we've been talking about. That look, you can't keep looking for who to blame. You can't keep trying to deflect. The problem came. No, it was not the problem of Mr. President.
But the victory came.
But the victory now, we thank Mr. President. Fᴏᴜᴜ made a very reckless, irresponsible statement. All of you kept quiet. In fact, some of them even said, well, it is even possible that maybe it is the governor. But now, you are very quick to condemn the governor. But because we are not about politics, I don't see the politics. I will refuse to see the politics. Because again, we've been playing politics. What has he given to us? What have we gotten from this so-called politics? And so we understand that our politicians will want to play politics with everything. And so the same way we are told then that was the buck stops at the desk of the president, and that the attempt by Governor Fᴜᴜᴜ to politicize the issue was irresponsible, is the same way we are now trying to tell the governor of Oyo State, why do you want to play politics with this? And I had this conversation before the show, and I was saying with some of my guys that I look at issues contextually. I don't take issues in isolation. Yoruba has ni orolomu mokumurua means issues don't exist in isolation. They are tied together. There are a series of events that you have to tie together for you to really understand the intention behind statements. Now, people have said, is there anything wrong in Governor Seyi Makinde calling for an investigation? Whether it is UN or no UN, I'm not even really bothered with that. Even though that's another conversation entirely. That, didn't you see that they had accused him? Maybe you were there when Governor Fᴜᴜᴜ accused him of being behind this situation. So don't you think it is a good way for him to clear his name? That look, don't just say, this has happened. It is important for Governor Seyi Makinde to call for this investigation, since someone who now appears to be on the side of the government had initially accused him. I say brilliant, Okpeyemi. But did Governor Makinde present it like that? That's the question we should ask ourselves.
Exactly.
Did he present it like a way of saying, you know what? I thank God that
they are out now.
They are out. But we can't stop at that. I have in the past been accused of being behind
this abduction.
I need to clear my name. Yes, the military has given us an account of what happened, how the rescue was done. But it's important that we set the record straight. Let there be an investigation to know whether in any way
I was involved.
I need to clear my name. But, Okpeyemi, this is where I had my problem with Governor Seyi Makinde. And I think it's an opportunity for me to explain to people, and I said it earlier in the morning, Okoyemi, with my level of exposure and training on this job, if a politician is trying to play politics with an issue, I know. If you're trying to whip up sentiments, I know. You remember that before the announcement was made on Friday, the rescue or whatever it is, the release of these people, on Thursday, Okoyemi, Governor Makinde was where? On Thursday.
He was in Bauchi.
He was in Bauchi. And what did he say? He said, oh, look at it, because that was in a political gathering. It was with the governor of Bauchi State,
and his APM,
the APM meeting and leadership and all that. I made my declaration, Okoyemi,
by 4 p.m.
of Thursday.
By 9 a.m. on Friday,
this abduction had happened. Clearly trying to say that, look, that abduction was done to attack
his ambition.
No, because there was no reason why he would have said that. Other than say, just imagine, I declared my presidential ambition 4 p.m. 9 a.m. the next day, this abduction happened. Also what? Trying to create a political scenario, Okoyemi, around the issue. And this is my take, clearly. Because if Governor Makinde is saying, oh, this abduction was planned because I declared to be president. Okay, so how does the abduction of these children, how does it affect his fortunes to become president? How does planning an abduction, again, let's put it on critical thinking, commonsensically speaking, Okoyemi. Okay, so because whoever he thinks did this wants to diminish his chances, reduce his chances of becoming president, so go and pick our children from school, pick their teachers, take them into the forest,
kill some people in the process of picking them.
Okay, let's be real. How does that in any way? How does that in any way diminish the prospects of Governor Makinde
being the president,
becoming president? And that's why I said that, look, this is basically just playing to the gallery. This is basically just playing politics. The same way we condemned Governor Ayo for trying to play politics with the issue. And I say it, look, the records are there. Oyo State, yes, maybe the first time. And look, saying, oh, this thing has never happened before in Oyo.
It's not true.
Look.
Investigation reveals that this same Oríire community, they've been having series of attacks. And that they thought these criminals were army coming to rescue because they came in uniform.
The people of Oríire had been complaining about some of these attacks. Remember that even the same Oyo National Park, there were reported cases of abductions some few
15 days before
this one.
Some of the park rangers were shot. So their office was burnt within the park.
So the question is, when this series of events were happening quietly in Oyo State,
where did the governor think it was leading to?
Were we paying attention to it? Did we focus on it? When we were told, Okoyemi, that look, our forests were being invaded, were being infiltrated by these criminals. It was not, look, we keep talking about it. In the past, we thought it was a northern problem. We thought it was just going to be a thing that the north would suffer from.
Let them face
it all started from Borno, quietly got to the northwest. But if you have followed the pattern, if you've been following the pattern, there was a time all of this Kwara thing never existed. Kwara was safe. They were almost like immune from what was going on.
And out of nowhere,
it
became a boiling point.
It got to the northwest, quietly got to Niger.
North Central.
Yes. Northwest, North Central. And then by the time he got to Niger, people were already telling us that because with Niger, he's coming to Kwara.
He's coming home.
For people who understand the way this thing goes, the way some of these things,
these communities are.
And then when he got to Kwara, they kept telling us that the Southwest is in trouble. They are here already.
And then Ekiti.
And then remember that we started hearing of abductions in Ekiti.
Traditional rulers were beheaded.
Kogi had its own. Because again, if you know the way Niger connects these states.
All of those states.
So that was when we started seeing that, Kogi became a problem. Kwara became a problem. Ekiti became a problem.
Some isolated cases, even in Ogun.
But that perimeter, that area became a problem. at that point of PME, people told us that Oyo should begin to prepare. Because again, if you know the link between Oyo, Kwara, and Niger, you know that just a matter of time. Because it was obvious that these guys were just infiltrating our communities. So for Governor Seyi Makinde to say, oh, like for him to present it like so I'm saying that, look, if we must have investigation, we must first depoliticize the issue, remove politics from it. Because if we start the investigation on the basis of politics, we are going nowhere. It will just be a political exercise. We'll blame ourselves. We are not going to focus on the issues. Yes, are there things to investigate? Oh, yes. And it's not just the Oyo abduction alone, Okoyemi. I can list 10 things from the top of my head here that we are supposed to investigate on these abductions that we are having in different parts of the country. So I'm not isolating the Oyo situation. I see the Oyo like what happened in Kwara, like what has happened in Kogi, and it's still happening. I see the way it happened in Niger, what happened in Kebbi. Are there critical questions that we need to ask ourselves? Why not? I've said this severally here. When the governor of Kebbi said, look, who gave the order
to withdraw the troops 30 minutes before the abduction happened?
That statement was coming after even the governor of Zamfara, Okoyemi, told us that, look, when these attacks happen, it's not as if we don't hear or we are not informed. But a lot of times when we even deploy the security operatives, somehow there's a chain of command that messes everything up and these things happen. So what are the questions we need to ask ourselves, Okoyemi? What is the state of our security structure? Do we have moles within? This has become a criminal enterprise. I think people are losing.
Very commercialized now.
So are there people who are benefiting from this commercial venture? Who have become a part of this syndicate?
Merchants of war,
merchants of crisis. So how do we begin to look inwards within our security operatives and within the system? Do they also have a leg in government, which is not impossible? Okay, it's not impossible. If you know how criminal syndicates work, you may be shocked that even at the level of the presidency, there might be people who are working for them. It's only when, I don't know, it's a long time we had the stories. We were too young to, when a particular thief, very popular armed robber, was arrested, and they discovered that maybe the IGP of police
was one giving him
before ASP or DSP,
one very top police officer was
DSP that was giving them arms.
That was giving them arms. It was when they arrested the man they discovered that actually even
this one is a rat inside rats.
That's even an armed robbery situation. But when you talk about international terror networks,
it's a serious thing.
Look, you might be shocked at how extensive their network is. Who and who may be involved. Some of them may be even for religious fanaticism.
Exactly.
For us, as basic as religious fanaticism. It will be in government too, but his mind
is somewhere else.
Is somewhere else. So that's why some of us will say, oh, can even the government begin to investigate itself? Do you have security meetings? Do you have people, for example, who are giving out security?
There was a governor last time who said 5 minutes after decisions were taken,
yes,
the terrorists got to know.
Got to know. So how did they know? Remember when the US also talked about the Chibok situation? And that, look, when we identified their location, we told them, you know, we're going to do what? We'll gas them. Like Professor Bolaji Akinyemi said, that they told the Nigerian government that, you know what, we're going to gas them. And when we gas them, we'll remove the abductees, the captives, and then we'll neutralize them.
By the following day.
By the time they went on the reconnaissance mission,
they had masks.
They saw that the terrorists were already wearing masks. Somebody within government
told them what the next line of action was.
So this idea of possible moles within our government, within our security operatives, within our communities, that's what it depends. You know, moles come from different reasons. Some maybe for financial purposes, some for maybe religious fanaticism.
Just to discredit, you know, a lot of things.
So a lot of things. It might even be for political reasons. So what I'm just saying is that, look, we should be careful to allow our politicians drag us by the nose. play dirty politics with this very unfortunate situation. Okay, I mean, let me be very truthful with you. Yes, the buck stops at the desk of the president when it comes to the security of lives and properties of the people. But that does not completely exonerate the governors.
No.
And I think people need to understand, the only reason why we keep saying is that, look, the buck stops there. The president should take ownership. But these governors still have roles to play, no matter how little. The question is, the little they are supposed to play, how well are they playing it?
Are they playing it?
Were we not here when it was said that the governor bought surveillance aircraft?
7.7 billion
Only
on 2 surveillance aircraft. And a year after, the surveillance aircraft are still at the Air Force base in Lagos here.
They were still coupling it.
They've not.
And then when it happened, that was when we. In fact, that was even when some of your people knew that
They
bought
already
anything.
spent that money to buy.
So
7 billion.
Before
The governor is now saying that he can sponsor journalists to come to Lagos and come and confirm
that the thing is still there.
What did you buy it to keep it in Lagos, or you bought it for surveillance?
So you see, and that's why when this Oyo thing happened, the first thing I said is that, look, there's enough blame to go around.
Plenty.
If we dig into it, there's enough. Let's put the blames aside. We need to rescue these people. Now that they've been rescued, let us leave all politics aside. You see, and that's why I keep telling people that, can you please understand the mindset of the average Nigerian politician? In reality, they are the same. In reality.
Forget the party.
Forget the party. Look, when I see the average Nigerian politician, I don't see political party. Okay, today, somebody will come and tell me that a Godswill Akpabio is APC. How? In fact, was he not the one that was joking that, the only reason why he was in PDP was because they had not formed the APC. That if the APC had existed before, there was no way he would have joined a party like the PDP.
The party that made him governor.
To make the governor.
8 years as governor.
You see. Well, I said, you see. Because they were telling that was when he was joking with Wike. Yes, Wike. About whether the PDP was. He was joking that which
one are we dealing with? Let us know where we are.
So you can see that even amongst themselves, the idea of party politics
does not exist.
Does not exist.
That's why Wike has been talking about rainbow families.
It's a clash. It's a clash.
You see the way they were joking about the PDP, making mockery of the PDP.
To the point that even Wike himself came out and said that his party does not structure to win a presidential election. And you're feeding a presidential candidate.
So you will know that, look, across board, go and search the minds of our politicians. They see political parties as SPVs.
Because constitution allows it. You just need the platform.
That's it. So there's nothing to
the moment independent candidacy comes into the election.
But even as of today, they don't see political parties as anything.
Nothing. Just they
just know that we are here today. Tomorrow we will not be here. Tomorrow we can dissolve. That was why I said this morning that, for people who think there's something to this fight other than politics, for anybody who thinks, Makinde is a modern day savior because he's calling the UN to come and intervene, you will wake up tomorrow to see that the same Seyi Makinde will now be in the same political party with Tinubu.
But was he a member of the group?
Was he not part of the G5 that was working against the PDP?
He did not welcome the presidential candidate of his party in 2022.
So I'm not interested in the politics. I would never be interested in the politics. It does not bother me. They will play this game. Politics will continue to happen. Political parties will emerge. Our politicians will dissolve from one to another one. They will move. They keep moving. They will keep moving. Look, if you look at all the governors of the PDP that have moved into the APC. So they are APC now. Suddenly,
they are APC now.
Suddenly,
APC governors.
The governors now will condemn PDP, Abi.
Before the party they used to win election in 2023.
So I think people need to understand where I'm coming from when I say, you know what, the way Seyi Makinde presented the issue
doesn't look good.
Clearly had political coloration in it. It was not really about us
finding out what really went down.
What has been going on.
It was probably about me just saying,
look. That it happened in Oyo was just a matter of time for people who had been following events. It was a US intelligence reporter told you that these guys,
they are moving down.
They even told you the locations, how they've been moving. They probably have better intelligence. They have the radar system. They probably even know their movements. When the government told you about the Lukarawa sect from Sokoto, some of us were shocked.
And those guys are building so fast in the northeast.
And again, people need to also understand the funding issue around this international terror network. The Middle East have become a problem for them. And that's why a lot of them, even the US say that, look, they've left. You know, the US knows
they know the
what they've
they
done.
are moving now. They know everything.
Look, when a lot of these leaders were taken out by the US, that was when he gave an opportunity for ISIS to come. You know, they took out Saddam. Syria was having problem, Bashir al-Assad. They took out Gaddafi. Those leaders, yes, dictators, but they were strong enough to ensure that these guys don't operate within their territory. A Gaddafi would not allow any insurgency. They don't know you well. No way.
No.
Saddam was so brutal. ISIS could not have existed under him. Even Bashar al-Assad in Syria, they were there. But when the US started their Middle East thing, they took out those leaders, ISIS came in.
And then took over the
and
vacuum.
They took over, they were spreading, moving around. But if you notice, I think at some point US realized that, you know what, this is not working. It's becoming a problem. You've seen that most of those countries now are back. They now have leaders. You saw US, the same US President Donald Trump, welcoming a new Iraqi leader that was just voted into power.
Even the one in
Syria.
Even
in Syria.
The Syria.
Somebody that was an ISIS known member.
Not just a known member, a leader.
Leader was now welcome because they now needed to know that, look, the best way to fight terrorism in most of these countries is for them to have a stable government. That with a stable government, they will be able to have a strong. It's not like what happened in Lebanon. I think we discussed it.
Yes.
Hezbollah in Lebanon is stronger than the Lebanese army.
Of course.
Seriously.
They hold territories. They choose which territory they want to release to the government.
So while the Middle East was becoming a problem, and what was the source of funding in the Middle East? They were taking oil wells, taking oil, selling oil, trading, and all of that. But with them leaving the Middle East, they needed money. You should fund this network. They saw, what's it called? West Africa,
especially along the Sahel region, it became so
easy
open,
for them.
Free for
large.
So what they did was to migrate. The Nigerian army, the NSA just told us that they had wiped out some terrorists and they found somebody from Palestine, a Moroccan, videos. So these guys had moved in, and that was when they created ISWAP. And look at where we are. Again, what will be the source of funding? Mass abductions, ransom payments. So what we are saying is that, look, let us look at ourselves. What are the issues? How vulnerable are we? What are we supposed to do? Let's look at the state of our military. This insurgency, should it be about numbers or about equipment? Should it be about intelligence? How do we go ahead
of them
in intelligence gathering before they move? Again, a lot of our ungoverned spaces, do we need more boots on the ground, or can we use technology to man those ungoverned spaces? I was telling Mr. Oᴘᴇᴜ that, look, have you noticed that the US don't really talk about the number of personnel?
No, they don't.
Because they know that what 10,000 soldiers can do, one military aircraft will finish it up in 5 minutes. So, we keep talking about ungoverned spaces. Should it be more about recruiting more soldiers, more military men, or should we begin to look at technology that can help us? I remember recently when this Iran thing started again, just about a week ago, and Abraham Lincoln, the military, what's it called? This warship of the US, the Iranians had tried to attack it and they repelled it. And a CNN correspondent had gone in there to meet the commander of that military warship. And the man said, you know what? Yes, the Iranians have been firing. They've been firing drones, but our radar system is working. How many soldiers can function as a radar that can capture missiles
with binoculars?
So she go and stay on one mountain and be using binoculars. But they have a radar system that can
once it's detected, shutting it down.
Once you shoot it, it knows something is coming, and it shoots it down.
Clouds.
So the question is, the funding for the Nigerian military, our intelligence community, what do we have? Where do we have lapses? What can we do? Deployment of technology. That is what I am interested in. That I'll allow myself to be dragged by the nose by a politician who just wants to play politics, whether at the level of the presidency or any state governor. No. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be part of it. I understand politics. I know we have moved with politicians. We've listened to them. We know their agenda. I told someone, and I will allow Mr. Okodo to take it from here. If you are listening to me out there and you think that all of these politicians you are seeing have not deployed their misinformation, propaganda, disinformation machinery, you are deceiving yourself. In the game of, we call it communication warfare in politics. Nobody is a saint.
Nobody.
No mistake is dropped in isolation.
If you don't know, let it be known that in politics there's what they call communication warfare. And in communication warfare, all tools are deployed.
Everything, both propaganda, lies, misinformation,
disinformation, everything is deployed to frame issues, to dissuade your mind, to set agenda. So for you to think that somebody is a saint in the game of and then you now fall into that trap, and then you become a pawn in the hand of politicians. Well, it's left to you. I'm sorry.
Mr. Matthew Okoda, we need to move on from this real quick, but let's wrap it up as well. A lot of people have responded to the call of Seyi Makinde as well, even Nigerians, that why is the APC government vis-a-vis the other structure, why are they scared if they don't have anything to hide? Why are they worried about international, call by the governor to have international humanitarian agencies and all of that? But more than anything else, does investigation discredit the effort of the government?
It will not, because there's a result already.
Good.
Of the effort of the government.
Good.
That the rescue and the release of those children. No investigation will tell you those children were not released.
No investigation will send them back into the forest.
So it's not there. But just a lot of what Fuad has said, I think we have already discussed those issues, is that the insurgency itself, as a phenomenon in Nigeria, was a fallout of wrong politics. A fallout of wrong politics by politicians. That is why, whatever we are saying now, the politicians have questions to answer.
A lot.
Questions to answer, because they caused these things, from bringing foreign machineries to that in case we lose, we destroy, we disturb societies. Now sending them back become a problem. Because
those ones have seen everything.
They have seen everything.
And you've already empowered them with weapons and arms, and you're not taking them back.
And again, you see, when the Oᴘᴇɪ happened, all those little things, they kill, forest guard and the rest of them, people regarded those things as experiments of the terrorists. It was time to balance up. It has always been said that, it's a northern thing. It's a northern thing. It is time to move into the south. That is why when it happened, everybody was taken aback. Nobody thought it was going to
southwest.
Because we as a people refuse to follow what I'm saying, the trend, the movement. This is an army, I'm talking to terrorists now, conquering along the line from northeast to northwest to north central. And throughout this period, these are 15 years, we have not seen their mark in the southwest. It is time. Okay, why is the southwest enjoying? Why is the southwest not feeling us? It is time to move into the southwest. So people felt like that. And two, the conspiracy theory is so large that you may not really blame Makinde, except as Fuad said, the way he said it, not what he said. Do you understand it now? Because
so it's the message versus the messenger.
So now, from beginning, at the incident of Chibok, there were insinuations. Government people were like allegedly involved.
Well, probably because we're not even used to that situation.
Do you understand?
A lot of us unaware.
You know, how can the whole foreign country like America, the army said we have seen them, we want to gas them. The next day, they are wearing gas mask. Who told them? Somebody from that meeting of yesterday.
I'm giving
it was not a town hall meeting.
It was a very
an American intelligence meeting.
So in other words, within about 10 or 20 people that were at that meeting,
there are one or two
of them
betrayers there.
Do you understand that? Look at the one in Kebbi. We said we had information, or military were moving, we are deployed. Somebody gave an order.
30 minutes after.
Until now.
The governor had not kept his promise because he vowed that he was going to investigate that matter.
He saw that the people behind that statement, that movement,
are more than his vow.
He cannot take them. He cannot even see. Some of the time, I sympathize with President Tinubu because For us here, he's our president, he's the commander-in-chief. But within himself, he probably knows there are other commander-in-chiefs that are not him. If not, you are the commander-in-chief. 4th Brigade, 5th Brigade, 7th Brigade. Who's in charge of Kedi? Which brigade is in charge of Kedi? Who deployed? Then who asked you to withdraw? Then let me know. Has he said so? He has not. He didn't make effort, at least known to us, that he queried the chief of army staff
Sector
or
commander,
chief of or whatever.
commander.
That who gave that counter order? Nobody. He kept quiet. Probably seeing that may not help his elections anymore.
Or maybe it's even command or control.
You understand that? That because that has given us a question about his command and control of the army, of the security forces. Up to tomorrow, nobody knows what happened. There are a lot of things, look at what happened in Kwara. Is it a war or what?
War.
The governor, it took the governor time to raise alarm. And when he did, only one batch was released. He told her it was finished. Meanwhile, there's still another batch. There are so many things,
Even the one in Kaduna, the commissioner for
Homeland Security denied it completely.
Like it happened.
Do you understand? So, in other words, there is another invisible hand operating behind the terrorism in Nigeria. That until that one is dismantled, we may not end. The end may not be there.
I'm still going to take you on this one real quick. How invincible can that hand continue to be if there's a willpower to end this whole drama?
You have just said it. Because there's no willpower. Now, the President Tinubu can decide to take on these people, not minding whether he wins or loses the less. That's the word, consequences. But the legacy he should leave for himself or for us is that I dismantled this network. If he dismantled this network, no matter what happened, it was Tinubu's time. In Yaradua's time, like this.
There was amnesty.
In Jonah's time, like this. In Buhari's time, there was no action.
During Tinubu, banditry ended.
Insurgency ended.
Insurgency ended.
That is a legacy project.
And it will be
that is a legacy project
on record that he arrested this. He arrested this. He dealt with this. He moved this
him for almost 4 years or 3 years.
There was no kidnapping, no abduction.
So the best legacy is to end terrorism in Nigeria.
Period. And unfortunately, it looks like the people are not sleeping, as armed gunmen have reportedly attacked a secondary school in Kogi State while students were sitting for the National Examination Council (NECO), abducting the school principal along with unspecified number of students. It happened today, so it's breaking. Their assailant, according to reports, stormed the school during the examination, causing panic among students, teachers, and other staff before whisking away their victims to an unknown destination. Security agencies have reportedly launched efforts to track down the kidnappers and secure the safe release of those abducted. Authorities are also yet to confirm the exact number of students taken, while investigation into the incident is ongoing. The attack has renewed concerns over the safety of schools and growing insecurity affecting educational institutions across different parts of the country. Side forward.
Okay, so you see, while our politicians are trying to play politics, while the APC people are jumping on Seyi Makinde, trying to devour him.
The guys have moved on. They've done another one. We don't even know how many of them.
So Kogi happened again today, and again schools, teachers.
You said earlier this is their funding sources now.
Because the international funds is not
coming.
The CBN is flagging any unusual transaction now.
Internationally, a lot of their funding
networks
sources
have been dismantled.
So that's what we're saying. That look, have they seen our country as a very good opportunity for them to
because some of these people are even coming from Niger, from Cameroon to come and abduct here, collect the ransom and go back to those countries.
When the Nigerian authorities said, the Lakurawa said, these are not
Nigerians.
The way they appear, the way they move, even Woro, that the Woro community even said that these are not the
Nigerian Fulani language.
Fulanis we know. These are not the traditional Fulani Nigerians we know. You know, the community leader said when they came in, the way they were behaving, the way they were presenting themselves, in fact, it was as if they wanted to subdue the community. Again, brought in very funny religious act and what have you.
And then the people rejected it.
And again, remember that the community said, we kept telling the government, we were reporting these things, but nobody did anything. So, I'm saying that, and the people need to understand when we say these things, that look, if we allow our politicians to put politics, like Mr. Kudu has said, this problem may have started from bad politics. Recently, Governor Alimadu Sheriff, former governor, was challenged. That, what are you saying? This entire Boko Haram
Who was governor?
Who started on
Who
that?
was governor?
Started with you.
A lot of
One of the suspects. How many of them were found in the government house?
So it all started from you guys.
So what are you saying?
Playing bad politics, forgetting that. Look, like we always say, once you allow for one crime to happen,
That's the end. It snowballs into different things.
So while you were bringing in these guys for political gains, you are forgetting that the bigger monsters were on the sidelines. They were coming, but okay. So you've allowed the thing to come in. So you think the others will not come in. And now it has not gotten to a point where you yourself
are even afraid now.
Look, Oᴘᴇyᴇ, are you aware that there were some even communities that allowed these people to come in? Those communities are suffering now.
Yes, no.
Even when the Lakarawa started, they said they were recruited as mercenaries to protect the community from Boko Haram. Now they are the ones terrorizing the same communities now.
So look at how complex the issue is. And that's why I'm saying that, look, whether it is the federal government, whether it is the presidency, whether it is Fayose, whether it's Makinde, once we begin to see a tendency to want to politicize the issue,
we've lost it.
We've lost it. If we don't condemn it. If we must have a proper investigation, and a lot of the willpower to do the needful still stops on the desk of Mr. President. Oᴘᴇyᴇ, even if you bring the UN, you bring even America, have they not gone back?
They have finished their job.
Look, a long time ago in international diplomacy and politics, Oᴘᴇyᴇ, I soon realized that nobody's going to save anybody.
You're on your own, no?
Let people go and read about the fact that nobody saves anybody. Look at Afghanistan, for example. We want to give them democracy. We want to liberate them.
Go on, give them.
Look, when America saw that,
it has passed apart. They abandoned
who are the people in charge now?
The
Taliban.
The same people they fought against.
Yes.
That's their bad.
Now they've even empowered them the more.
They are now. So look, the funny thing is that even America is now looking at ways of working with the Taliban.
Because they can't help it.
Because they can't help it.
They are there.
They are there. So the reality is that nobody is coming to save anybody. When America came, threw bombs here and there, did intelligence. But the reality is that, look, there's a little they can do. You will have to still solve your own problem.
The Americans have their own problems.
They have their own problems too. Plenty.
President Trump has increased his air security details now.
Apart from, do you know how many military bases America has? Do you know how many troops they have all over the world?
All over the world.
The kind of funding, apart from even the ones they fund, the support they give to different countries
everywhere,
security support all over the world. So Nigeria will not be top priority for them. It can never be. We have to be our own priorities, and that's why we're saying that, look, if we begin to paint this issue as politics, then we're going to miss it. And as we are playing the politics, look at what has just happened in Kogi. The people of which state still said, look, our people has been
Kaduna, 100 days since Easter.
We've even forgotten them.
We've moved on.
The Kwara people are still there.
They're still
the
there.
Kogi people are there. Ekiti, they are still there. The Borno people that happened just when
they're still there.
They are still there. And so we have to now begin to play politics.
Well, I'm talking about playing politics or not. The former deputy national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Chief Olabode George, has warned against what he described as an attempt to capture the opposition through judicial manipulation and the misuse of state institutions. Chief Olabode George earlier today condemned the recent developments surrounding the party's leadership crisis, alleging that some forces were working to destabilize the PDP ahead of the 2027 general elections. I recall that the Supreme Court, in a split 3-2 judgment delivered on the 30th of April, nullified the PDP National Convention that was held in Ibadan on the 15th and 16th of November 2025, which was backed by your state governor Makinde and produced the Turaki-led leadership. Following the verdict, the Board of Trustees, chaired by Adolphus Wabara, constituted an interim national working committee and retained Turaki and other members of the dissolved leadership. The group has continued to function alongside the PDP leadership recognized by INEC and linked to the Wike-backed faction. Meanwhile, the faction led by Muhammad Abdulrahman and the National Secretary, Senator Samuel Anyanwu, moved ahead of the preparation of the 2027 election by selling nomination forms to aspirants. The faction's activity received INEC recognition including access to upload candidates' details on the commission's form. I'll come straight to you on this one, Mr. Matthew Okuda. We're pressed for time. We need to pick calls. The phone lines have been buzzing. The PDP conversation is interesting. Last week, the FCT minister, the factional leader of the PDP, or the factional national leader of the PDP, came out to say that his party, by the way, his faction produced a presidential candidate. There was a national convention in Abuja at the Velodrome. There was the entire process. There was ward primaries, ward congress. Thank you, Saifan. There were state zonal before they had the national one. They had candidates. The senator representing Kogi Central, Senatorial District, Natasha Akpoti, has identified with the Wike-led committee. One of the leading politicians on the plateau, Kefiano, is also and is the governorship candidate. 2 governorship candidates in some of those states. Is there anything left for the PDP? Because we can come out and say that the party does not have the structure to win presidential election as of now. And I remember Mr. Mɪᴅ-Wᴇᴇᴅ said something a couple of months back, that before the 2027 election, that a faction of the PDP, probably led by Wike, will officially declare for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now the Wike has said that party is fielding a candidate, does not have the structure to win presidential election. What is Chief Olabode George still fighting for in the interest of the People's Democratic Party? Are they on self-destruct, or truly the judiciary is being used to hunt them?
PDP has suddenly developed into, how do I put it now, a monster that cannot be tamed. Why did I say so? Because the judiciary are suspected. They gave a judgment, the Supreme Court last time.
That was the 30th of April.
But that judgment is not understood by anybody. It was not clear enough. So nobody knows where the pendulum is swinging now. Okay, look at it this way. They said every activity done by secretary, whatever, what's the name of that? And this group, it's not recognized. Is that not enough to have known where the party should be?
But they gave this same faction the code to upload candidates.
That is
they
not
didn't give the Turaki-led faction.
That's not judiciary. That is INEC. So what I'm saying in effect is this: that somebody somewhere, either INEC or PDP on the right or PDP on the left, should now go back to the Supreme Court and say, "This your judgment cannot be understood. What actually do you mean?" Because why the judiciary is in question right now is, how do you give a judgment that cannot be understood? A judgment that cannot be interpreted. There are signs, there are senior lawyers, there are junior lawyers. Nobody can tell you this is where this judgment stands. So it suddenly is bigger than anybody. Okay. So this one is saying us, this one is saying we, this one is saying them. So let the court should be the real thing to say, look, this is the correct PDP. Until we do that, until that is done, we are on our own.
Okay, just briefly so that I can open the phone lines. Again, the question is, who should go back to the Supreme Court for judicial interpretation?
Exactly.
That will be the question.
Yes.
Which of the faction?
Is it the Wike that is telling you, well, this is a victory for us?
It should be INEC actually.
Okay, it should be INEC.
It should be INEC before giving any code to anybody.
Because as it stands, if you look at INEC's portal, okay, if you look at INEC's website, and the group that INEC has been working with, it is the Wike faction. They are the ones they've been corresponding with. They've uploaded their candidates. So the legal problem that PDP, seems to be facing, this endless legal tussle, is one that nobody can predict where it will end.
Where the end?
Now, but look at the situation of the PDP. This almighty PDP. The same PDP that promised Nigeria, that told Nigeria will rule for 60 years. And look at the same PDP.
No, it is not before. When they come again now, for another 60
start
years.
all over again.
Because
they did 16, so we've wiped up. That slate is clean. So it's a new one. They will start again now.
True. When they come back, 60 years.
I know when they come back. If eventually they come back. but this is, look at the story of the PDP. The almighty PDP.
The largest political party
in Africa.
They kept boasting about it. Well,
yes.
the same way the people today who are boasting about
in the 2003 and 2007 election, Mr. Matthew Okodo aside for the PDP went into the election with 33 governors.
So a PDP that at some point had 30 governors.
They have none.
I'm coming. A PDP of the Ebola himself, former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, the PDP of Solomon La.
Tony
Aneni, the Mr. Fix-It.
Oh gosh.
The PDP
Benapas Gemade. How do you Ogbe?
The PDP that
Alex
Ekweme. That is the PDP. No, look at
even Parasite Pius now that is eating with the is on the table now.
But the same PDP now has 2 presidential candidates. If you don't know,
do they have to? Because the other one has not accepted the former president.
I know where I'm going. You open the phone lines now. But as it stands, they both say they have presidential candidates. So the Turaki faction has a presidential candidate that exists in absentia. He was nominated in absentia. Form was sold to him in absentia. He was screened in absentia. He was chosen as a candidate in absentia.
So who signed?
No, wait.
He was also signed in absentia.
Oh, they signed on his behalf.
Or in absentia.
Let me give you a scenario. You know what? The last time America fought Iraq.
Yes.
The first batch of that war was called what? Desert Shield.
Desert Shield. Yes.
They were planning
mines,
all this thing.
Yeah.
You know. So what PDP is doing right now?
Okay, they are still planning the mines.
That is
so it's Operation shield. Desert Shield.
So what did President Jonathan's
stand on this matter?
No, Jonathan's side of PDP is doing now.
What?
We are doing Desert Shield.
Okay, political shield.
Political shield.
Okay.
So that next time we now
they just unveil.
I'm telling you.
Okay, so even though it's just a few months to the election.
Yeah. No, that timetable. That's the only worry I have. Yeah. Not only for PDP or anything, for INEC itself, because it's very likely that the court will extend the timetable. Not for the election, I mean for
but for presentation of candidates
because of this court thing.
Cases, okay.
It happened in Ondo that time now between Jegede and Ibrahim. Do you understand?
2 days to election was when they gave
the victory
to Aketi beat.
But
I mean, you did campaign 2 days. Which magic are you going to do?
So, but look at the weekend
against a sitting governor.
So one faction has Operation Desert Shield or political shield in the name of Jonathan.
Yeah.
Who exists in absentia.
Operation
the other
faction
one,
APM
the other one
PDP
Operation what do we call this one?
Collabo.
So where they have a presidential candidate, but the leader of the party
is
saying that
no
even though we have presidential candidate,
we don't have the structure to win election yet.
So the presidential candidate.
What's the interest?
So if the presidential candidate is not a dummy candidate.
And you heard what the leader of your faction has said.
You cannot win, but you're on the ballot. That is the story of the PDP.
On the 26th of May, the Wike-backed PDP named a former senator, Senator Sandy Ono, as his presidential candidate from Cross River State. And 4 days after, on the 30th of May, the opposition faction led by Kabiru Turaki SN announced former President Goodluck Jonathan as the standard flag bearer of the party in 2027. So for Sandy Ono, he had come out. We saw the process of the ratification. They gave him flag. He waved the flag. His hand was raised up by Wike. But for Goodluck Jonathan,
the same person that raised his hand, I gave him flag.
I told him that you cannot win this election. But we collected money, but you bought form.
Yeah, at least we'll give you flag.
At least you'll be there. Okay. Interesting conversation. If you're just joining us, I'm going to be very sincere. You missed a lot, but you can always go back on our social media platforms, Facebook and YouTube, to watch this session we've had today all over again. But I would open the phone lines. I would also read your messages in between on YouTube, on Facebook, on WhatsApp, about 0913-600-0410. Today, I'm going to be enforcing the 1 minute rule. So if you're done with 1 minute, even if you're not done with your contribution, I just may have to cut you off. So let's stick to the agreement. 1 minute, 0913-600-0410. So I'll also read your messages as well. Good afternoon. This is Noah from Igondo. Hold on. The present political class is so concerned about power grabbing and intrigues than good governance and patriotism. Legacy project to them is embarking on elephant projects that are being used as conduit pipe for corruption and money laundering. It is only when those with integrity are allowed to be at the helm of affairs that the citizens really enjoy the dividends of democracy. Thank you very much. Noah from Igondo. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to the jury in the studio.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you very well.
Okay. Prince Wise.
What phone are you using?
Prince Wise, I don't understand this your phone. You may have to call us back. 09136000410. Okay, this is from Robert, and it says, good afternoon, gentlemen. God bless you. Please, I need an answer to this question. Hasn't the Supreme Court put the final judgment on the NDC case that makes INEC to recognize David Mark and the party chairman? Why is another court coming up? I'm sure it means ADC. Why is another court coming up with this issue again? Does it mean a case the Supreme Court has nullified can be revisited by other courts? Okay, those are questions. I'm Solomon Achogba from Ikeja. Okay, I refer to this message that I sent to you on the 26th of last month. Though you did not read it, just a day after apologies, the calls are coming in. After a young man was stabbed to death on his way to the farm in Olowa in Dekina local government, eastern part of Kogi. It came 3 months after 3 months of threat, and just yesterday, my mom called me that people were running out of the village without clearly knowing what the problem was, until it was later confirmed that 4 students are sitting for NECO alongside their principal and invigilator were kidnapped. Like I would always say, a lot is going on without making it to the front pages of the newspaper, and until these issues are addressed. They said soldiers and other security personnel are now in the village after they have successfully kidnapped these people. Insecurity is a big business, and it is real. Tinubu and APC should leave politics and perform. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, you'll have to try and call us back if you're lucky. 09136000410. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well. Okay?
Is that Mr. Okay?
Yes, Pastor. Okay?
Only me. Your name and where you joining us from?
Okay, it's my name.
Okay.
I greet all of you. I bet APC they should leave Makinde alone. Let them. Maybe want to expose their secret. That is why they are targeting him. Allah is which governor that has requested for this kind of this thing. So no governor among all that is happening. So maybe slowly Nigeria can be free from all this thing, and those supporters of people will still call and say no. Allow him. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for joining us on the show. 09136000410. You're live on Mainland 98.3 FM, and this is Midweek Politics. It comes up every Wednesday from 1 to 3 p.m. 120 minutes of hardcore political conversation as we look into how we feel we deserve to be governed, and more importantly, issues of accountability within the public space. Christopher F. Young. Okay. This is a lengthy one. Oh boy. Okay. I stand to support this very call by Sheyi to let there be international investigator to investigate this matter so that there can be solutions to these very insecurity problems. We cannot play politics with human life. It's even against the rule of law and against democracy. You cannot be the child at the same time you expect the child to keep silent. It is not possible. Allow Mr. Governor to cry for the people they hate, tear to ask questions. In this country, security was asked to leave their duty posts, and at the same time, school children were kidnapped. Up until today, nobody knows those who were involved in that kidnapping. That was under a sitting governor in this great country. And similar things happen again in this very government. We should continue to behave like this. Gumi told us that the government knows these bandits and where they are living, their names, and even said the government gave him security enforcement agency to go and negotiate with them. We heard that one of those international country had given us the names of those sponsoring insecurities in Nigeria. Are those names mentioned? Who owns the names? The box stop at the desk of Mr. President. Anybody who is saying Mr. Governor is wrong or for his suggestion is a bandit, and is also okay. A bit, I'm struggling to get this, but let me also try and move on. Look at what the teacher's testimony was. We were staying on an open space when raining and under the sun. Please let us protest this democracy. This democracy must not be a curse to Nigeria. Okay? And let's see if you are lucky with the phone lines this time around. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
You're welcome. Your name and where are you calling from?
The moderator himself, that's Mr. Robert.
Mr. Robert, I'm struggling to hear you. You can change your location a little bit.
Okay, I said I have a question. I'm yet to be answered. I want to go for you to answer me, sir.
Okay, okay. The question you asked earlier, if another court can dismiss a Supreme Court judgment, okay?
Okay, well, okay. He needs to understand that there are several cases, and so if one case ends at the Supreme Court, it doesn't mean another one will still not end there. So the judgment of that one does not stop because these are different cases. In the ADC, for example, the Balanofiu Gombe matter will get to the Supreme Court.
There is the Mebika faction also.
So this one that the appeal court just ruled on is by state chairman within the party. So at the end of the day, all of these cases will still be decided by the Supreme Court.
There are too many cases. You don't even know which one is at the appeal or which one is a Supreme Court.
And remember that judgment at the Supreme Court says yes, this faction should be recognized, the David Mark faction, but they should go back for proper trial at the Federal High Court. So it's not complete. So don't be surprised that that same matter will still get back to the Supreme Court.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Mainland FM.
Good afternoon, sir. I greet you and Alhaji.
You're welcome.
I want to answer the question where somebody answer. See, Supreme Court are not perfectly perfect every time. Supreme Court to remove number 1 and put number 4 on the 14th of January 2020 in Imo State. Because of Fulani land,
can we focus? Let's focus. Leave. I've answered the question. Don't bother. Okay, let's just.
Okay, thank you very much. I know court is perfect actually, but it's just that the court is expected to be unbiased, and just like the logo of the justice is blind. It doesn't feel for anyone. Good afternoon to you. Your name and where you calling from?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. What I'm about to see.
Your name and where you calling from?
Prince Wise, no sorrow.
Okay, Prince Wise, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Now, well, for me, this is a Pᴏᴟ. I want them to abandon that. It's their play politics. But what I want to urge your state government to do something for the children. Give them scholarship from primary to university. You write your name in gold because no government has done that before. And if you did it, I'm telling you, it's better than to be monthly or community debate they are doing now. So for me, that's like good advice to me. You know, always a case setter. We know when Baba Wolo was around, everything first. From Western Nigeria, our Ibadan is the capital. As it is today, get this record and give them scholarship to university. Better. Good morning, all.
Good every time of the day, Prince Wise. Thank you very much for joining us, because I know you still join Sage much later by 4. So just greet us any time of the day at 09136000410. Oh, can you hear me now?
Hello, I can
Brilliant.
hear you.
Your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Mr. Lucky.
Okay.
So quick one, you know why supermarket there? I don't know. I don't know if you remember when some of the caller was saying that Tinubu cannot be everywhere. What is Makinde doing? Why is it that how can a president we go to a state without consulting the governor? Is it proper? I believe if something happened to as a family, you lost somebody or something happened to your family, people will come and greet you. Not you start calling people say, oh, the people. No, you don't need to call. People should come and greet. So President Tinubu is supposed to go and meet Makinde. As far as did not carry Makinde along, there is something on that. But I'm happy that the children call home. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm Mr. Lucky. We'll quickly go on Facebook, but let's read some of the messages that we still have here. I would have liked to see Seyi Makinde take our file sheet to court instead of this UN of a thing. We should stop playing politics with insecurity because these terrorists are taking advantage of it. We just got a report of another kidnap in Kogi State this morning, and a Palestinian and a Moroccan were seen in the northeast. That's John Bernard Hui from Ijaniki. Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon to Okay, good afternoon to erudite analysts. Fantastic, undiluted analysis. Much appreciation. Please keep speaking truth to power non-stop. For me, Governor Makinde should relax. He would get to know the truth behind these kidnappings going on now when this APC government relinquishes power. Nigeria, a big drama country. That's Chris Oke from Ikeja. Back to the phone lines. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to Mainland FM. Can you hear me? Mr. Oniolani Johnson, thank you for being on the show today.
I want the Yoruba in Yoruba land to intervene. We don't need all this one now. Because what of the man that was beheaded? What of the other one that died? What of the army that died? Army that are collecting, 49,000. All these things, we should think, because truth can change people, but nobody can change the truth. They should just leave everything like that. God will deal with everybody.
All right, thank you very much. 0913-600-0410. Good afternoon to you. My name is Mr. Ford. My name is Olamide Aremu Balogun from Ogbayo Ojoko, beside Unity High School, Ogun State. The abduction looks suspicious. We didn't see those arrested. And we didn't see those arrested, and you want the governor to believe it was not a script. One man was killed in Isin local government of Kwara State yesterday. My Gbomina is always in the news for bad reasons. When are we going to have peace in my ancestral land? Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, Prof, good afternoon.
You're welcome. Your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, this is Gaga Joshua.
Okay.
Yes, the issue as to whatever anybody is believing Makinde or not, should we also believe Fayose? You understand? See, all these things, let's leave them. They are politicians. Whatever they want to drag, let them drag. Everything is politics. You understand me? Me personally, my concern right now is that the health well-being of the children that are back. And again, yes, and again, of course, you see they tested one right now, and they said the child has a hole in there. You understand? This should be our concern. Leave politicians alone. This is the era of politics. They will play their games and all that, throw banters at each other. Yeah, that is their problem. And again, compensations to the gallant officers, who lost their life to their family. You understand? That should be our concern. Leave for all this issue, dragging politicians. If you say we should not believe Makinde, should we believe Fayose? If you say we should not believe Fayose, should we believe Makinde? These are politicians. Leave for these people. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gege Joshua. Unfortunately, it looks like the politicization of this whole rescue and kidnapping will not end anytime soon. I saw pictures of the senator representing Oyo South, senatorial district, and the APC candidates in Oyo State, Senator Sharafadin Ali, are presenting a car to the teacher, Mrs. Alamu. And in the midst of all of this, I saw the pictures. I saw how stressed the woman is. What really blew me off and got me so disappointed is the fact that they had to make the woman hold the car key up like this. And I'm like,
our politicians don't know what they're doing.
It's a campaign material.
They want to, how is that a campaign material?
Crazy.
And I saw the car, and look at the reporting. A brand new.
That kind, they are no longer producing the new that of that particular brand. But there's no new one in the market.
Didn't you see several reports calling it? He has presented
a brand new car. And I'm asking myself that why do you have to politicize this issue? You could have given that gift by proxy. You can have done anything. You now stand beside the woman. You now told her, they told her to hold the key.
The gift is coming as a result of politics. It's not because of good conscience. It is the reason why the gift is even coming. It is politics.
Why are you talking like this?
Wow, what happened to the other teachers? Why does it have to be the main person?
It will give them kekema right on.
Okay, it's part of empowerment. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. This is Olaiwola from Ijai.
Mr. Olaiwola from Ijai, you're welcome to the show.
Yeah. You see the issue of Makinde. It's not that the federal government don't want to cooperate with it. He decides to be on his own. Issue of insecurity, when it comes, some people ask the president, say they are not proactive. And when government want to do everything, I say Makinde know what he's doing. Concerning the time that the chemical blast for Bogija for Ibadan, and they give him the money they give to him, did he give it to those people?
It was even Fayose that made us to know that 50 billion was released.
Nobody knew anything.
The issue is beyond the people that are down in Oyo State. The issue is about inaccountability of individual that is a governor. That is the problem here. And the time we come, Inyas will go open, everybody will see our people will come back in day stage innocent. The time we come, Inyas
Thank you very much. Let's try and be very civil with the words we use on the radio. I understand the expression though. John Bernardo on Facebook says the PDP is dead. But the judge should stop disturbing us, I beg. Okay. Christopher F. Young, I've read your message. Thank you very much. James Ogbona says, good afternoon to the guys in the studio. I'm going to repeat what I told Sage in the morning, word for word. And this is not about me supporting 괰ᴅ because politicians may be the same except you are playing the real politics. This is just me giving my opinion, and I want Mr. Far to react to this since he was not in the studio in the morning. I would like to ask, is there anything wrong with independent investigation by the international bodies? I would also like to see those lawyers who are against Governor 괰ᴅ's call for international bodies to step in. And what is unlawful about it? Mr. Okpe, I don't know if you guys in Mainland FM employ the services of external auditors to audit to account, because I know that organizations usually bring in external auditors, and that does not undermine their own internal auditors. I'm not sure people heard the part where 괰ᴅ said his call is for foreign interference. His call for foreign interference does not undermine our institution. It is just to restore public confidence. Mr. Okpe, if it is lawful to have external auditors come to audit your organization, then why will it not be critical to say we can't have foreign investigation? And I listened to his broadcast. He did not only mention the UN. He said international communities like the UN, for example. I'm sure he's also referring to other nations. If no one has anything to be afraid of, why are they worried of being exposed? And if they think he's playing politics with it, then they too should play politics with it by allowing the foreign investigation to come up. James Ogbona.
Okay, to James, quickly, there's nothing wrong in investigation. We've always talked about the need to investigate some of these things. Who gave the order in Kebbi? We've always called for investigation. We've talked about Woro, we've talked about Katsina, we've talked about Kebbi, Niger. So there's nothing wrong. But what we are saying, and you have just said it now, that okay, let them not play politics with it. But I'm saying that I'm not going to be part of those who
conspiracy.
Now, I'm not interested. That's
all right, senior man from Mowe texted as well, and he says, it's a pity that 괰ᴅ's statement on the matter of rescue is unbelievable, especially to the caliber of his position. This is a step above his fundamental right, apart from being the governor with substantial amount of opportunities for internal probe and investigation on this matter within his domain, especially on his constitutional sworn-in position and duty. Okay. Thank you, by the way. Hello, good afternoon. Your name and where you calling from?
Good afternoon. This is Samuel calling from.
Samuel from where?
From Ikeja.
Mr. Samuel, you're welcome.
Yes. Oga Fuad,
good afternoon.
Yes, I don't know. The day before yesterday, I think you were not in the studio, and this issue came up when people, the praise singers of this current government, they were telling us that people should stop politicizing the issue. Oga Fuad, by the looking of the things now, in your own opinion, between the people of Nigeria and the politician and the government, who is politicizing this issue now, this issue of insecurity in Nigeria?
Okay, let me say this. On this matter, if you were part of the people that refused to condemn Governor Fayose when he was playing politics with the issue, you have no moral standing to condemn Governor Makinde now. Because you tolerated Fayose for playing politics with the issue. So you cannot condemn 괰ᴅ now. But what we are saying is that nobody should play politics with the lives of the people. That's what we are saying.
It's wrong.
So it's not about who is right or who is not.
I'm not even saying who is right, who is wrong. What I'm saying is that for me, the government is the one politicizing this issue, because you can see the politics now, what's going on. I don't even know that somebody has been given a car. You can see what our government is doing. What kind of country, what are we telling the international community when it comes to issues like this? I will always pretend that
there's nothing wrong giving the woman car. They burnt her car now.
Side forward.
Give her car now.
I'm sure that if not that Senator Sharafadin Ali was the governorship candidate of APC in Oyo State, he will not donate that car. He will not. He will not donate that car. And why donate the car? You went to the camera. You go and see the video and the pictures. He stood beside him, and you could see how distressed and tired the principal is.
In PR, they say public relations is doing good and letting the world know.
So there's no bad publicity.
I'm
for
telling you,
politicians.
about don't give car, don't give car.
Saifad is on a different devil advocacy run this afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good to have you join us.
Okodo.
Your name, where are we calling from?
My name is Mr. James, calling from Agbado.
You're welcome.
You see, the only one of the biggest problems I see in this Makinde case is as a result of politics. Aside from that, believe me, I follow every date of his idea of investigating every incident that happened. No incident that happened that should go on uninvestigated, even though a certain result has been achieved at the end of the day. Because without investigating it, there's no how you're going to find out the root cause of the problem and how to prevent any such future occurrence. And that is why these things keep happening every now and then. The kidnapping happens sometimes. Some people get freedom, sometimes some don't. And then at the end of the day, life goes on and on. Nobody asks questions anymore. But when we are serious for governance, that is now when we get down to the root of all these problems and begin to find out what the root causes of all of them and solve it once and for all. And then all these problems will whittle down completely and Nigeria will be free for it. That's just my brief.
Thank you so much, Mr. James. Samuel Ajayi on Facebook is also talking to us, and it says, "Good afternoon, gentlemen of the press. At Mainland FM, I would suggest the Oyo State government, the federal government of Nigeria, and other stakeholders to compensate the abductees from the terrorists, empower them financially, health-wise, and award scholarship to the pupils from primary to tertiary institutions. They should also reward the families of the fallen and gallant military personnel. The government should collaborate with the NCDC Corps to work with the indigenous security operatives like Amotekun, OPC, and others." Samuel Ajayi are calling from Lagos. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You're welcome. Your name and where you calling from?
I'm Matthew Okojo. My name is Ambrose.
You're welcome.
Can you hear now?
Yes, very well.
Just, one of the contributions that I love is Gege Joshua. He said we should not politicize this thing. You can hear, okay, let's assume it was President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that said they should probe this matter. All those people who are supporting APC now and against Makinde, would they not now say that Tinubu is right? You see, let's leave politics out of this matter. Yeah, we learned again that some people have been kidnapped. Now, the important thing is that people are being kidnapped. Some people are even saying they paid ransom. Like me, that I've always been against ransom payments now. Because when you open that door, they will come again.
You won't close it. You will never close it.
Exactly. But my own is that all these people, anything APC say, they will come and defend it. Is that how Nigeria will move forward? And then Makinde is being condemned now. Well, personally, I'm happy. The children are back. I want them to find how they can make these people happy. It's not only the teacher. Everybody that was kidnapped have been traumatized. They should find a way to assuage and make them happy. Simple. We are just talking, and these people, they are still under trauma. They have not recovered. And we are talking politics here. Even people who don't know politics. I beg.
Thank you very much. Ade from Jakonde Estate in Lagos is texting us and he says, "Good afternoon to you, Okoyemi and the colleagues. Sheigumi said the government knows these criminals and every details about them. If not, how did the securities manage to locate their families and have video clips with their relatives to threaten them? I won't blame Governor Makinde for asking for foreign investigation on this matter. After all, the government have never been sincere with the citizens." Ade from Jakonde Estate, thank you. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Play.
Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Mark.
Mr. Mark, good to have you join. We have 1 minute here.
1 minute?
Yes.
Okay. So, I think for me, from the observation I've observed, right, all the people that are jumping behind Governor Makinde, they are the sadists that are not happy at the initial stage when the children were released. They were those that they are the sadists. They were not happy when the children were released. Look at them jumping behind Makinde right now. Look at them. Makinde is playing a very dangerous political game, right? So shall we now use his logic and say that all the attacks, all the kidnappings that have been happening across the country they were orchestrated deliberately to stop Tinubu from second-term re-election. Should we use that logic?
So let me ask you, Mark, just 1 minute. But did you also condemn Fayose when he made that reckless statement?
Absolutely.
Oh, you did that? Okay.
You know that Fayose and Makinde, they've been having a running battle.
So if you condemn it.
So, of course. And the president, are you there?
Well, we just wrap it up a few seconds.
No, there are kidnappings.
Let me wrap it up.
Okay, we have to go right now.
Kidnappings before Tinubu was elected.
Exactly.
Yes.
So what happened in there? We have to go. Thank you so much, Mr. Matthew Okodua, for always finding time to join us on the show. And hopefully we get to do this again and again. Aside from that, of course, always very instructive and engaging in your analysis. Thank you as well. And to everyone that called in, the messages we couldn't read, the calls we couldn't pick, we thank you. But next up by 3 o'clock is the boss. So let's just ease the tension a little bit. You can call in on the show, join Jaydan, the good guy with the bad intentions, and his beautiful co-host, BB, the biggest B. Well, there will be a chance for you to call in, request for songs of your choice, and have a beautiful Wednesday till you join Sage Babalola in the Situation Room by 4. And by 5:30, we'll have the Mainland FM Global News. And by 6 o'clock, we'll also come back. What happened to Spain and France yesterday? It looks like Spain caused pain to France, and they've been knocked out. So as Spain are already in the final of the ongoing World Cup, we wait for the Three Lions versus the defending champions Argentina tonight by 8 p.m. Yes, so you'll have to join us by 6 for midweek edition of Sports Cruise, and by 7 o'clock there will be Global Clusters, and by 8 o'clock we'll have the Shenanigans. So we've got a lineup of programs to help you relax and enjoy a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. My name is Oᴏᴜᴜ Akinde. Let's do this again next week Wednesday, same time, 1 p.m., same station. Just super down Mainland 98.3 FM. Have a beautiful Wednesday afternoon, and bye for now.